All right, welcome back. Backyard Brawl episode Trace. Eagles playing tonight, 8:15 against the Chargers. So a little bit different of a wrinkle this time. We're going to talk about the game pregame, and then you'll get our post-game thoughts. Tonight we'll get back on the recording and give our post-game thoughts. Hopefully, Eagles get back on track and get a win. I think this could be a huge get-right game for the Eagles. Interested to hear your thoughts. A lot of reports coming out this week. Nick Sirianni has a bigger hand in the offense. We got Judy Hopps in the locker room this week. Um, is that going to make a difference? Probably not. But listen, we rallied around a guy getting a skin fade last year. So, yeah, you want to get us started?
I mean, I didn't see what the spread was, so I never really care about that going into these games. Although against Chicago, I was like, okay, -7 it's a little crazy for both teams
Spread
being 8-3 or whatever it
is
is.
Eagles are favored by 2.5.
That's what I thought it would be. So, I mean, we have no Jalen Carter, so we'll see Ty Robinson a lot more. We'll see Byron Young. Um, the defensive line this year, it's weird because last year the defense worked. It was much better from the top down. So it was like your secondary, then your linebackers, and your D line. This year it's the complete opposite. This year it's your D line is the best part of your defense, then your linebackers, then your secondary. So it's going to be interesting to see how the defense plays without Jalen Carter. Do I think we're going to win this game by more than a touchdown? Absolutely not. Do I think we're going to lose? No. Herbert playing with basically a broken hand at this point. I think it was like screws they put in his hand and plates they put in his hand.
Screws in a plate,
So
yeah.
yeah, we're not going to see any under center. Like I doubt it because it's a lot harder to grab the football underneath the center's ass instead of, catching a shotgun pass. So I don't know if the defensive line can get to Herbert and listen, I don't wish injury on anybody, but if they can get to Herbert early and put him in the ground a few times and let's just say the hand gets caught underneath his own body, take him out of the game. I think this is an easy Eagles victory, but offensively speaking, I just don't see any changes, even with Sirianni poking his head in to the meetings
Yeah,
a lot more.
and listen, with Sirianni poking his head in, I mean, we've seen Sirianni's wrinkles in this offense in the past, and it's been like, maybe tonight we get a trick play somewhere mixed in that probably goes for 8 yards. They'll pitch it back to Hurts. He'll throw a wide receiver screen and it'll go nowhere. Um, I just don't really see how this offense is going to morph in one week. Now, what I'll say, Chargers have a not the Chargers don't run the ball well. They do get Amari and Hampton back tonight, it seems like. But you'll get a mix of Kamani Vidal and Amari and Hampton, but they don't run the ball particularly well offensively, and they don't stop the run particularly well. So this is a game that the Eagles should be able to dominate the game up front, control the clock. That's what I would like to see, and then throw when they need to. I think the Eagles actually win by 10 plus points tonight.
Nah.
I really like the matchup that the Eagles have tonight. I feel good, and
Well, did
especially
you did you see with the Mailata thing? They said
I
that
didn't.
there's more stuff that they're scheming up, new stuff. But I feel like that's something that's been said every week. It's the same thing. He
Yeah,
says that
I'm not.
they're one block away from making the game a 14-point differential, but I'm just yet to be convinced of
Yeah,
that at
and
all.
I'm less
We're
concerned
in
about the
week 13 now.
Jalen Carter injury because I do like the depth that they have at the defensive tackle position. Last week, actually, when they started the second half, they were stopping the run a little bit better, and Jalen Carter wasn't on the field. Jalen Carter basically didn't play until like 10 minutes into the third quarter. He finally came back out.
Yeah.
Um, So I think this is a favorable matchup for the Eagles. Cooper DeJean versus Lad McConkey is a matchup to watch. I think it's important that DeJean stays in the nickel position and they don't have to rotate in Michael Carter. Dory Jackson's got to stay on the field. We know what Quinyon Mitchell's going to do with Keenan Allen outside. I expect him to dominate that matchup because I think he's a top five cornerback in the league in terms of matching up one on one with guys. He's that level of good.
Hmm.
So yeah, but my prediction is I think the Eagles. I always pick the Eagles to win, and I don't give an exact score position, but I think the Eagles win by 10 plus points tonight.
I'm gonna say my score prediction is gonna be 24-23. That's what I think it's
24 to
gonna be.
20, a 1 point win.
Yeah, I really don't think it's gonna be by much.
Do you think like the Eagles drive late and get points, or is it like
I think the Eagles play a good first half of football, and they have some plays here and there in the second half that keep the lead, but it won't be enough.
I think Saquon, my prediction, Saquon has a big night. They're able to move the ball. I think they get into the 30s tonight. I think they win 30 to 17. I'll go 30 to 17 Eagles.
Okay.
So
Okay. All
we're
right.
gonna catch you
Well,
guys later after the
yeah.
game. It's gonna be late. It's gonna be a late night. Um, but yeah, let's
All right.
go Birds.
Peace. Go Birds.
Can't even describe what I just watched. Um, you're gonna hear both our opinions on this. I'm not even. I'm cracking a smile now because I thought about it. I was like, I don't even know if I'll smile while going through this. Um, Genuinely, as I was going through the game until that interception in overtime, my honest opinion was I actually didn't think that it was that bad because when I thought about it, I looked to myself and I was like, first play of the game, you have an AJ Brown drop. You have whatever the sequence was that Hurts throws a brutal interception. Will Shipley knocks the ball out. Hurts picks it up. Hurts fumbles it. Then, you get force a field goal. You throw another bad interception on a late throw. Then you get the ball right back. You drive the ball down the field. You have a holding call on the 1 yard line, which can never happen. That takes 7 points. Not well, it did take 7 points off the board, but you have to settle for three. Then you get a pick right before the half and a 15-yard penalty to put yourself into field goal range. You miss the field goal. Then you come out of half, and you could step in if you're remembering any plays that the Eagles just beat up on themselves. But to be honest, I thought outside of the um, oh, well, to continue, you have the they finally score on the Saquon Barkley wrinkle. Shout out to Nick Sirianni because I know that was him.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that's what he added to the meeting this week. But you have AJ Brown drops a ball like good. I thought it was a good throw from Hurts because I think if he didn't throw it that high, I think the linebacker who was dropping into coverage would have been able to make a play on the ball. So I think he had to put it where he did. AJ Brown lets it go through his hands. It's intercepted. Um, you had a forced fumble that you didn't come up with. Jahad Campbell was right there for the recovery, and you don't come up with that. Then on the drive at the end of the game, you have two drops. You have one for a touchdown that would have sealed the game, in my opinion, and you have a drop by Devontae Smith that allows the Chargers to keep their timeout or not run the clock to the 2 minute warning. The game goes to overtime, and then you basically get bailed out because I don't know how that was called a neutral zone infraction. He clearly did not go into the offensive zone. They called out a flag. Your drive is extended. You have a couple more nice plays, and then the pick at the end of the game from Hurts, in my opinion, was a great play by the defender. But in that situation, I would have run the ball because when you have a first and 10 and inside the red zone, their tendency is to run the ball. And I don't know what goes into that decision there. We'll hear some BS commentary probably in the post game that I won't listen to be quite honest, because tomorrow my life moves on. And Temple plays Georgian Court tomorrow, and Temple's going to win, and I'm going to be perfectly fine. But I'll pass it off to you now, who
All right.
I assume will be much harsher.
First of all, props to you for not letting this team dictate how you feel during the week. I don't know how you do it as a fan. You're a pretty
Well,
optimistic
let
guy.
me let me add to this because I am getting a little bit mad. So I'm recovering from a bone marrow transplant. I basically sit around and do nothing all day. I've actually started watching the Sickos on YouTube. They're basically a group of guys that go around to other countries and party, and that's what been consuming recently. I've also been watching Jared McCain's full movie from last season that he put out on his YouTube. So I just like find myself napping constantly. Fortnite, we play some Fortnite. I mean, it's
Two games,
shit.
it's
It's
awful.
shit.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah, I
sucks.
tried playing Fall Guys. That game is also shit. So I just I move on. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. It's gonna go well, and I just have to move on.
Yeah, so basically what I've taken from the past, I don't know, what is it now, 14 games, 13 games,
Yeah, they're 8 and
is
5, 13 games.
after watching this is the story of the season. It's constant penalties. They're beating themselves. You've got a bad quarterback leading your team. He's flat out bad. He's not a good quarterback.
He's not been good this year.
I've tried to defend this guy with my life. Shout out Josh Harrison. Fuck you. I've tried to do everything I possibly could. And now I'm on the side of Josh Harrison here, kid from the JCC who hates Jalen Hurts, is an Eagles fan. Whatever, not important. 4 interceptions in a game. You know when the last time that happened? 2012, Michael Vick.
Oh gosh.
Brutal season. Again, not the best season. So to me, I think it is so hard to come back from this. So hard to come back from this. You are 8-5. You've lost three of the last three. Bad loss to Dallas. Even worse loss to Chicago. You could argue this is the cherry on top. This is the worst possible loss. And to me, if you would have tied, that's just as bad as a loss. That's just as bad as a loss. Would I have been as pissed? Probably. Would I have a freak out post game like I did earlier 10 minutes ago? Probably not. I just would have kind of shook my head and stared blankly at the TV. The defense is doing all they can, though. I mean,
The defense is good.
they
The
cannot
defense is
constantly
good.
be on the field. You win that game, Jordan Davis is the player of the game. Props to Justin Herbert leading them down the field in overtime. Missed a few throws, but other than that, obviously didn't make a fucking difference.
I mean, he's playing injured.
He's
I'm
playing
not.
hurting. This is the
He
toughest
didn't
quarterback in the
play.
league. This is the
He didn't
toughest
play
quarterback in the
great.
league. Um, but no, you can point the finger at the play caller. You can point the finger at maybe Fangio at times, at Stoutland. But at the end of the day, it falls on Jalen Hurts. A 4 interception game, you're never gonna fucking win. Ever. You can have the best defense in football. You're not gonna win the football game.
Yeah,
It's not gonna happen. It's not
and
gonna
listen,
happen.
I'm a Jalen Hurts guy, and I've been saying that. And throughout his, I'm getting tired of the excuse with Hurts that it's constantly a new guy, because it's not like we don't know what the relationships would be. He's not meeting somebody new. Like college was a different story when he goes from Mike Locksley, he goes to Brian Dable, he goes to I don't know who else he had. He had Lincoln Riley at
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
yeah.
Like that's a different scenario where he's having to be introduced to new people. In the NFL, he goes from Shane Steichen and then he gets Brian Johnson, who was his quarterback's coach. Like that's not a new face, and Brian Johnson's offense looks catastrophically better, or that's not the right word, but and then he goes to Kellen Moore, and then he goes to Kevin Patullo. My issue with Hurts tonight, and it's a shame. It's a shame they didn't win the game, because I would have came on here if they had won the game, trying to explain to you, Jalen Hurts did a lot tonight that I actually really liked. Like he probably had his best throw of the season tonight. That 3rd and 15 throw to Devontae Smith was probably his best throw of the
Great throw.
season.
Yeah, it was a great ball. I'm not
He
arguing. He
a
had a
couple
nice
plays
ball to
after
AJ
that,
at the beginning of the game. AJ at the
right?
beginning, that should have been
Like
caught. Like the
but
one
he
in the end
makes
zone, you could argue should have been caught.
the one to AJ was a terrific ball. That probably would have
Yeah.
topped the Devontae Smith throw, obviously because the Devontae Smith throw never happens. The game probably doesn't go to overtime. But to me, it's the decisions, and he's making decisions just a hair late. He's not on timing. He's never stepping up into clean pockets. He's leaving a lot of clean pockets. He's not a good thrower outside the pocket. He made one or two throws. He had the one to Darius Cooper, and he had the one to Dallas Goedert in overtime that I can remember, where he hit a guy, moving outside the pocket. Another game, Tyler Steen is a problem for this team. Brett Toth having to play for long stretches was a problem for this team tonight. Um, if we're talking about going forward, and what it's going to look like, they'll beat Vegas. Let me tell you right now, at home they'll beat Vegas.
I don't know. Nothing's a
They'll beat
guarantee.
Vegas, and
Nothing is a guarantee.
Daniels should be shut down for the year. They'll get Washington twice, I believe, facing Marcus Smart. I mean, whether they win the game 10-0, 10-7, 10-3, 10-2, 9-3, whatever it is, those teams, their defense should just alone win them the game.
Well,
You would think. They're going to lose to
well,
Buffalo. Let me tell you this. They might get
they're
their
gonna
shit
lose.
packed
They're gonna
in
get fucking
Buffalo.
rocked. They're gonna get
In
fucking
Buffalo, they
rocked.
may get packed in, but
Yeah.
actually I don't see them. I don't their defense is so good. I believe that they can compete. And listen, all again, our conversations all along has been get to the playoffs, limp to the playoffs, whatever it may be, and then host a playoff game. That's their only way. They're not going to get in as a wild card at this point because they're going to finish with 6 wins or 6 losses. And I think team in the NFC North is going to have a better record than that as a wild card team, and two teams out of the NFC South are going to have better records than that as wild card teams. So I don't think a wild card team is getting in from the NFC East. So you got to win the division, and it gets scary. I mean, the Cowboys I think have to play the Bears at home this week. I think that's who they play, right?
Yes. No,
So I
no,
mean,
it's Minnesota. It's Minnesota,
they don't
I
play the
think.
Bears.
I can
I
tell
think
you
they
right
do have to
now.
play the Bears.
This
Like if
Sunday,
they
no. This Sunday they play uh they play Minnesota at 8:20 p.m.
and then they
It's a
play the
prime time
Bears,
game.
those still
And
left.
then after that they play, excuse me, sorry. Uh they play the Chargers and then I believe they play the Bears.
Okay. So
So I mean also like that's not the
oh wait, they
toughest
don't have to play
schedule
the
though.
Bears. They lost to the Bears. They lost to the Bears week 3. They have to play the Chargers. That's the team on their schedule left that is pretty good. So I mean, if the Chargers could beat the Cowboys, that would help us just in terms of my psyche and having to worry about if this team is even going to make the playoffs. I'm at the point now, if they don't make the playoffs, I'm going to be like, because this team is not winning the Super Bowl, so we're just going to get extra games of like, hooray,
Well,
maybe we win one and then we lose to
I mean
the Rams or whoever.
I mean
So
I'm not completely checked out because as a fan you don't just check yourself out.
I'm not
That's
checking out.
I
I'm
think
not
that's
checking
inexcusable.
out, and I'm
But
going to
you
be
do I
bought
am
in.
yeah, no, I'm looking
This,
at the season completely different. If we go out and we don't make the playoffs or we're just a shitty wild card team playing on the road, I'm expecting a loss. Like I'm
they're
not
not going to be a
sitting
wild
here,
card team. There's just no way they get in as a wild card team. I've said this, and
whatever it is.
Our friend Donnie believes that um, the Eagles will guarantee make the playoffs. A lot like I've said all along, the Lions, the Bears, and the Packers, if they all make the playoffs, right, and then either Seattle or the Niners or the Rams, one of those teams is going to be a wild card team. So there's not a wild card spot for the NFC East or the South or the North or the
Well, I mean, the
South.
Bears just bumped down to what, the sixth seed?
Yeah, but they still have a better
Yeah,
record than
no.
us.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying Oakland's not a guaranteed win. The
I
Bills, obviously
dude,
not. I
dude,
don't think you,
Las Vegas is so bad.
dude, I'm telling you, with the way this team is playing, with the way they've played at home, nothing is a guarantee. Nothing. I just can't comfortably sit here and say, oh, this is a win, this is a win, this is a win. Maybe the only one I say is a win is your first home game versus the Commanders. After that,
You think they have a better shot at beating the Commanders than the Raiders?
yeah. After the spot you're coming
Well,
off
what are
now,
what are your thoughts on the Raiders? What do you think the
I
Raiders do
just
well?
nothing. But I don't think we don't do anything well either, is what I'm saying.
We
Besides
play good
defensively,
defense.
it's obviously not enough. Like it's not enough.
No, but it is shown that it has been enough because we beat the Packers and we beat the Lions, basically doing the same jack
But
off
what's that?
stuff that
What's
we've
that
been
show?
doing
What's that show? We're 8 and
offensively.
5. What's that show? We're eight and
I'm not
five.
I'm not referencing that. I'm just saying clearly our defense can win us games single-handedly, and I expect if all goes awry, at least that's going to happen against Vegas, whose offense is brutal outside of Brock Bowers.
But that you just said it yourself.
If what?
If
If
all goes awry, if.
no, I'm saying if all goes awry and our offense cannot score on one of the worst defenses in the
Well, now I know what
league,
you mean. But you
at
could say the
least
same
our
thing the other way. If the offense doesn't play well, like the fact that we're even saying that.
no, the other way would be the defense doesn't play well and then the offense has to win us the game.
I can't sit here comfortably and say that we're going to beat Oakland because I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I just want to hear your logic behind why you think that we have any better of a shot at beating the Commanders than Oakland.
I think Mariota's a bad quarterback.
Geno Smith is worse. In
Divisional
my
game.
Geno Smith's been worse
I
this
think
year.
you're gonna split a divisional game. I don't think we're winning both games.
So then we lose the division.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't say we're gonna win
So
the division either.
you don't think we're going to make the playoffs?
Like no, no, no. No.
Then I
You want
think
my
you're just
honest
not.
opinion? You want my honest opinion? No. I'm not
Then I
not
think you're
bought
just
in.
not just. I mean, like looking at the teams that they play and the defense that we have, like I just don't see a way that we don't finish the season winning three or
I would
four.
feel better if we missed the playoffs than get our fucking asses kicked in the playoffs by whoever we play because we're not winning a
Well,
playoff game. That's not going to happen. This is 2023 all over. Like it's you could argue it's even worse in the
I
ways
mean,
we've lost.
in my opinion,
This
it
is
depends
pretty
who they
fucking
play.
bad.
If they get Seattle at home, I think they win. If they get
No,
Seattle in the
this is
playoffs, I
Seattle's the
think they
best
win.
defense in the league.
Yeah, but I think
You saw they could
again,
barely beat. You
I
could barely
saw
beat this fucking Chargers defense. You barely fucking put points on this Chargers defense. You're gonna sit here and say we're gonna beat Seattle? Fuck no, absolutely not.
at home.
I don't think so.
I'll take our
I don't think
defense to
so.
win a slugfest.
Mm-mm.
Seattle having to come up to the cold. I could see us winning a slugfest against
Seattle
Seattle.
plays in the cold too.
No, I'm
They play
not.
in the rain. They
Seattle
play in the
doesn't
fucking
scare
rain.
me. I think if we had to play
Only
the
only reason
Niners,
I think we could beat Seattle is because Darnold is that bad in clutch
yeah,
time.
yeah.
But again, you're playing the best defense in the league, and this offense has done nothing but shit the bed
If they have to
the
face
past
another
4 weeks.
NFC North team, I don't think they beat any of those teams again. Except the
I mean,
Packers. We own the Packers.
yeah, but like I don't know. At this point,
Packers, I think, are going to
I
win
would
that
feel
division.
no emotion if we missed the playoffs.
Okay.
It's been that bad.
I mean,
And the
I just
clear problem
again,
is the
I'm sitting
quarterback.
here like we're sitting here having this conversation. I'm very much like I'll move on tomorrow. I was more mad that the Sixers couldn't beat the Lakers
Yeah, well,
last
that
night
was yeah. No, what pissed me
than
off about that game was, I mean, and this is what the NBA is now. It's just we only caught a glimpse of what the NBA was before
mhm.
all this shit, but they're going up acting all buddy buddy with the Lakers. VJ Edgecombe, I give a pass. That's a different story. Do whatever you want with that. But
Yeah.
the fans paying to go to the games, the Sixers fans, not the quote unquote Lakers fans. I use that term lightly. But the Sixers fans getting hype after LeBron dunks, after LeBron 3 point, it's fucking inexcusable
No,
to
I
me.
just think there was a lot of Lakers fans there, to be honest. I think a lot of
Fans,
Lakers fans bought the tickets like just like the Knicks series a couple years ago where the Knicks
yeah.
fans packed out the
But
Wells Fargo
still,
Center.
and it goes to the players. It
That
goes to
pissed me off.
Embiid. It goes to even
Well,
Maxey.
Embiid was awful last night. I don't
He
want to
was
get too much
horrible.
into the Sixers. It's just, we're going to talk about another basketball topic, but just on the Sixers, Embiid was horrible last night. The Sixers might have a center problem across all three uh, rotational center spots.
Nah, Drummond's a goat 3 point corner shooter. Come
Oh
on.
my gosh,
He's fucking unstoppable.
shot one from like the wing last night.
Where are you at
Terrible.
mentally with this team, though, the Eagles?
The Eagles mentally, I'm just like I'm like with the way that it's gone, plus having the Super Bowl from last season, plus having the hindsight of what happened in 2023, I'm almost like immune to this. Like this season falling apart, like 2023, I was going through it. Like I was feeling it in 2023. I was like, this is terrible. But right now, having already been through that, I'm like 2023 almost felt worse
Yeah.
because remember how much shit the Niners fans talked? Like, oh, we would have beat you in 2022. They got blown out by the Niners. They got blown out by Dallas. They lost to Arizona. Then they got blown out by the Giants and mixed in there somewhere they beat the Giants at home. This year, it's not as bad because they didn't get blown out by Dallas. They lost a close game to Dallas. And they didn't have that. They almost haven't had a loss where they got blown out like they did again. I mean, the Chicago game they got handled, but again, Eagles fans were making an alliance with Bears fans through 10 weeks of the season. Now we got positivity rabbit. Like,
That's another
it's
fucking thing.
whatever. It's
Like they're
whatever to
just
me.
trying to come up with shit. It's coping. They're trying to come up with shit to fucking turn the season around rather than fix up the little mistakes like false starts and holding. And although there were some bad calls this game, but you
Yeah,
got
the
him back.
Quinyon Mitchell PI was bad.
Yeah, you got him back. There was a missed call on Mulata a few times.
Yeah, well, I didn't think
The
the
long
Aikman.
Saquon run was a hold of Mulata.
I didn't think so.
I thought it
I
was.
thought that would have been a
He's
soft
wrapped around
call.
it. He's wrapped around his arm. But I think that was a makeup. They just made that up from the. There was a PI call that shouldn't have been called, and then you got the call after that. What was it? It was after
The
it was
neutral zone
after the PI
infraction.
call on. Oh yeah, it was that. It was that. Like that's another makeup call, which is Mulata's
Yeah,
best play of the year.
yeah.
Best play of the year. He's been fucking awful. He's been
Well,
horrible. The
MVP of the
whole team,
week,
the whole
Shador
team's been bad.
Sanders. Perfect timing.
I like him now. I don't hate him anymore. I used to fucking hate him.
He's going to be
But
good. I said it
I
all
hope
along. He's
so.
going to
I
be
hope
good.
he's good. I hope he's good. I never thought I would ever say that. I just think I hate his dad, and that forces me. I don't know. That kind of forced me to hate him. I wasn't a Travis Hunter guy. I wasn't a
Yeah.
Colorado guy. I just didn't
I
like any of
like
them.
I liked Colorado. I like Colorado. I think it's interesting publicity. But anyway, moving on now. So, well, first of all, before we go and actually head over to the bracket and like make our predictions and go through the whole thing, what we are on different sides in this because you don't like the 12 team playoff. You want to go back to four teams.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm a big fan of the 12 team, and I'm not a fan of expanding past 16 or up anywhere past that. Like if they wanted to go to 16, I think they could pull it off and get a couple more of those. Like like I think Notre Dame was deserving of the opportunity to get in, um, but we're on different sides because you want to go back to the old fashioned four team, and I kind of like the
yeah.
way that it is now at 12.
Well, I don't know because it is tough because I do like a lot of the matchups in this year's
Mhm.
playoff round. I'm just trying to look it up. I'm sorry. I do like a lot of the matchups this year, but like JMU, there's just a few games in here that are just going to be blowouts.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, the group of five teams that get in, and it's now 2 years in a row, or it's 2 years in a row that we're likely, last year we got Boise State and they get the bye because the ACC couldn't put a puts Clemson in from the ACC and then SMU gets in as the at large. And that kind of threw the whole wrinkle in. And then again, the ACC throws the big wrinkle in because Duke at 8-5 wins their conference championship game. I think it's just an ACC problem. Like
Yeah,
overall, the ACC could have solved all these issues because Notre Dame, if they were in a conference, would be in the ACC. They would not be in the Big Ten. They would be in the ACC. And they would probably get in because they would be playing a conference schedule and they probably would have played for the conference championship and won. And then also, their tiebreakers are so bad in the ACC that you end up with Duke and Virginia. And Virginia would have got in if they won, but they left it up to chance. They played Duke, they lost, so they don't get in. So that leaves, listen, James Madison by the ranking and the rules and the criteria was deserving to get in. I would have been pissed if Duke got in at 8-5 over James Madison. Do you agree with that? Like when looking at the rules, like James Madison should have got in.
yeah.
So
But there's just bad games, is what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like
it's going to lead to
I don't
probably
like the
two likely
games.
blowouts. We've already seen this Tulane and Ole Miss game, and Tulane lost by a lot. JMU at Oregon, I think, is going to go very, very, very poorly. But outside of that, I mean, the Alabama Oklahoma rematch is intriguing. The Texas A&M Miami rematch, Texas A&M not rematch, sorry. The Texas A&M Miami game is also to me pretty intriguing. Um, I believe that's all the games in the first weekend. And then you had
Yeah,
Indiana as the one seed, Ohio State as the two seed, Georgia as the three, and then Texas Tech, which I think is the sleeper team that not a lot of people are talking about because the Big 12 is a little bit of a weaker league. But Texas Tech is good, man. So I'm going to share my screen and see how this works. Multiple part. Wait. Okay. Share. Share this screen. All right. Can you see that?
yeah, I can see it.
All right. So I'll have you go
All right,
first.
let's just go game by game. Let's just go game by game. I feel like that's easier,
Yeah, but
and then we'll just go
I'll have
afterwards.
you go first, and then after that
Okay.
I'll
All
go.
right. All right. All right. So I'm obviously taking Oregon.
All
I
right.
don't think that's a no-brainer. And pardon me, I don't fucking watch a whole lot of college football. So I'm just gonna go here and pick teams based off what I've seen. I'll mention some players here and there because I know some. I'm not an invalid, but bear with me here. After that, I'm gonna take Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma beats Alabama again this year. I like Ty Simpson, but I don't, I don't think they go in and beat Oklahoma at all this year. So after that, I'm taking Ole Miss. I think they got a lot of firepower. They got stabbed in the back by Lane Kiffin. Usually with an interim head coach, you see them win their first game, typically from a lot of programs. After that, I'm gonna say Texas A&M, but I think it's gonna be very close. I don't
I think
think
that's the
Carson Beck
best. I
is.
think that's the
I don't
best
think.
game of the
Yeah, I
weekend.
don't think Carson Beck is as bad as bad of a quarterback as people want to say. I don't think he's great, but he's been in the playoffs plenty of times. This is not his first rodeo. Okay, so going back up to the bracket, another great game. I think Texas Tech will probably win. Don't ask me why. I don't fucking know why. After that, I'm taking Indiana. I'm a big Fernando Mendoza guy. I like him a lot. I thought his post-game interview was a little weird, but seems like a genuine good dude. Throws the ball pretty well. After that, Ole Miss, Georgia. My heart wants to say Ole Miss. Do I think they're going to beat what's his name? Who's the quarterback?
Gunnar
Stunt
Stockton.
Gunner Stockton. Yeah, no, they're probably not going to beat Georgia. So I'm going to take, and that defense is unreal. After that, I'm going to go with Texas A&M. I think
Wow.
Texas A&M beats Ohio State.
Wow.
I think we're going to see the same situation where it comes down to a field goal, and the Fielding kid, whatever's first, the Jake Fielding, right?
Jaden Fielding.
Jaden Fielding, whatever it is. I think he'll choke
He
again.
misses
We'll see.
again.
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll see something like that. I mean, it happens with Ohio State kickers in the past.
Yeah.
Going to the semifinals, Indiana. Give me Indiana. And then
All
after
right.
that, I'm going to take Georgia. I think we're going to see Indiana, Georgia, and at the end, we're going to see Georgia win. I think we'll see another Georgia championship.
All right. And how many points total will be scored in the all 11
Um,
games?
all 11.
All 11 games.
Give me give me give me 620. I don't fucking know. I think this Oregon JMU game is going to be like 74-3.
All
They're going to get
right.
their shit
So
ran.
I don't know how to take a screenshot, but I can get it later. I don't have to do that
I'll
now.
just take a picture on my phone. Hold on.
Isn't it? I don't want to shut the computer
It's like
off, but
command shift
it's
3.
yeah, that's what it is on a Mac.
Yeah.
But all right. So we'll get a picture of this, throw your name on it. All right. Now my turn. Coming over here. So obviously gonna go with Oregon. James Madison's a nice story that they got him, but I just don't think they match up really at all well across the board with Oregon. Coming down here to Alabama, Oklahoma. I like Alabama. Alabama already has a big road win this year at Georgia. Um, I think that the game against Oklahoma, their defense played really well. If Alabama cannot turn the ball over, which is a steep task because Oklahoma does have a really good defense, if Alabama can play a safe brand of football and not turn the ball over, I think they could win in a low score game. Oklahoma's offense is really not great, and I'm not a big John Mateer guy. So I'll go with Alabama. Tulane, Ole Miss. Like I said earlier, these two teams played earlier in the year. I think Ole Miss is going to be playing an inspired brand of football, especially getting a home game. This game being at um, what is it? Bobby Dodd Stadium, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah. So give me Ole Miss. And then Miami versus A&M. Give me Miami. Texas A&M is not playing well right now. They had the game against South Carolina where they basically had to come back super late in the game to win. And then they lose to Texas the last game of the year. Their offense has looked lackadaisical at times. I do like Marcel Reed a lot, but just give me Miami. I think Carson Beck's experience, having been to this playoff before, I know, well, he was hurt last year, but having played in so many big games, give me Miami. Back to the top, Oregon and Texas Tech. It's a really interesting matchup.
Well, I mean, A&M's
Um,
a hard place to play, though.
it is tough to play there,
It's a
but
tough place to play.
it is very tough to go to College Station. Um, Oregon and Texas Tech. I think this is the best game that we'll get all weekend. Uh, Oregon. I just like the way that I like Dante Moore a lot. I think that the Big 12, I get it that Texas Tech has a good defense. Jacob Rodriguez is phenomenal. Baron Morton's been really good for them this year. Cameron Dickey's been really good for them this year. But I'll take Oregon. I'll take having to play the Big Ten schedule over having to play the Big 12 schedule, and I think Oregon gets it done, especially in a neutral site game in the Orange Bowl. I think if this game was at Texas Tech in Lubbock, I would take Texas Tech, but it's not. The Rose Bowl, Alabama and Indiana. This might come as a shocker. Last year, the number one seed goes to the Rose Bowl, Oregon, and gets absolutely dominated by Ohio State. I actually think that in this scenario, I'll take Alabama. I'm going to take Alabama to beat Indiana. And my reasoning is I just feel like the SEC schedule gets it done. And I get it that Indiana out physical what many thought was the most physical team in the country in Ohio State. Ohio State coming off of the game against Michigan where they completely just ran the ball, dominated Michigan up front. And then Indiana kind of was able to do that to Ohio State. They were able to stop the run. They were able to win the line of scrimmage. But I like Alabama defensively. And I just think I think that Ty Simpson can get into a rhythm and make some plays. So I go with Alabama. That's my big upset. Ole Miss and Georgia. Again, this was a great game earlier in the year. Um, Close game. Ole Miss was leading for a while, but I'll go with Georgia. Um, I think that Georgia's found an offensive rhythm with Gunnar Stockton. I think that they're making plays. They dominated defensively in the SEC championship game. Then Miami, Ohio State. Give me Ohio State. Um, I think this is the best team in the country still. I know they just lost, but they have the best weapons. They have the best defense. So I'll take Ohio State. Going back to the top, game that probably not a lot of people thought we'd be seeing, Oregon and Alabama. I'll go with Oregon again. Again, like I said, I like Dante Moore. I like, if De'Corian Moore can get back healthy and playing, that's big for Oregon. Kenyon Sadiq, the big tight end, going to be a first round pick. And then defensively, they've got some guys in the back end. Jabbar Muhammad, or if Jabbar Muhammad's even there, he might be in the league by now. I don't know. Uh, Dylan Tealman, so I'll take Oregon. And then Ohio State, Georgia. This is going to be my national champion, whoever wins this game. Uh, Gosh, take Ohio State, and then I'll have Ohio State to finish it off. I just think
What's
Ohio
your
State's the best team across the board. I think they have the best players: Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate. Julian Sand's got to play turnover-free football. He can't keep turning the ball over early in games. Um, and Ohio State can just dominate games up front and at the line of scrimmage. And I think that's what they do throughout the playoffs. And then I'm gonna go with 670.
fuck you? So
I
I just
can't
have a
even
question.
pinpoint
I have
that.
a question. Where does Temple fall in all this?
Well, Temple actually apparently was offered a bowl game and turned it down at 5-7. But then Temple releases a statement that says they were offered a bowl game and they didn't have enough time to respond. So they didn't get to go to the bowl game. So I don't know. It was a big cluster F. Temple would be making some plays if they were in here. Let me tell you. Jay Ducker is a player. Um, Evan Simon's a dog. Temple would be making plays. And
Yeah,
John
I
Adams
think they
enters
would.
the
I think they
portal.
would beat JMU.
I don't,
No,
well,
probably not.
but John Adams enters the portal today in other college football news, which is unfortunate. But we thank John Adams for his contributions to Temple
I heard he's coming to
University.
Westchester. That's what I heard.
That that could be an option. That could be an option. So we'll take a screenshot of both of these. This is mine, and this is Shy. So Shy's going with Georgia, and he's going with 620 total points in across 11 games. And then I'm going with Ohio State, 670 points across 11 games. So let's get back to the. All right, are we back to
Yeah.
regular screen? All right, so the last thing that we're going to talk about is this whole Chris Paul situation, which to me is pretty crazy. That um, I think that from what I was reading in the whole thing, basically Chris Paul was becoming disgruntled with like rotational stuff and wanted to have meetings with the coaches and, front office for whatever reason. And basically, the coaches in the front office were like turning his meetings down. They're like, "You're not meeting with us. You have to do more. You have to contribute more. You're not playing well in the defensive end. You're not, you know, being, I guess, the point guard that they want him to be off the bench." So that turns into their buying him out or releasing him. Then this whole report comes out. And to me, this is mind boggling because we, as Sixers fans, have seen mistreatment of star players for years. From the city, from the front office. We ran Barkley out of town. We didn't handle Iverson very well. So, but to see this with Chris Paul, who is a Clipper legend, like for a team that hasn't had a lot of history and a lot of winning, he did a lot of winning in LA. He brought the most fun teams, Lob City Clippers, to
Yeah.
LA. That was about as close as they ever got to winning. I think they made one Western Conference Finals. Um, you know, it's just a really interesting situation. It's bizarre from an organization that has had no winning in their tenure as a NBA franchise.
So I don't know. I talked about this on the morning show on 95.3 WCHE. That's the local station here in Westchester. I'm on the
Shout
morning
out.
show
Shout out.
from on Fridays from 9 to 10, typically, sometimes from 7 to 9. But I talked about this on the show, and I'm gonna start by saying this. They have been historically just a clusterfuck of an organization. You had the Donald Sterling thing. You had the situation with what, Blake Griffin, where they were kind of just like, fuck you, we don't need you anymore. Who could have been, and in my opinion, would have been a Hall of Famer. Um, then you have the exit of DeAndre Jordan. They didn't treat him very right. Then Chris Paul leaves. Then you have the Kawhi situation where what's his name? What's the owner's name?
Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer is basically funneling money from a fake outside business or whatever, where Kawhi is going to these meetings, quote unquote, going to these meetings and getting paid. His contract is being paid through this outside thing that doesn't even exist.
Yeah,
And then
I
now you
forgot
have the
about
Chris
that.
Paul situation. And by the way, that just got swept under the rug.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a
I,
big
I
deal.
forget I forget who the journalist is. I think he's like a Filipino guy. I forget his name. He's doing all the
Oh,
research for
he used to
that
be on
and is barely
ESPN.
yeah, and is barely being shown. And now you have the Chris Paul thing where Tyronn Lue basically goes full dictator mode and basically is like, okay, fuck you, we're done. We don't want you anymore as a leader in the locker room, which is what he was doing. That's what he was paid to do. I don't expect him, if I'm a Clippers fan, to play the best defense. I don't expect him to put up 20 points for me, maybe 7 assists a game here and there, if you're
Yeah,
lucky. But you brought him in to be a veteran presence, which he was doing. And Tyronn Lue, they're close in age. Maybe some boundaries were crossed. That's the state of the NBA that we're in right now. It's a player run league. But in some cases, that's not a bad thing, especially from someone like Chris Paul, who's what, 37?
yeah,
Something
big
like
time
that. I think
NBA
I,
vet.
I think Tyronn Lue's like what, 48? It's an 11-year age gap, something like that. So I understand it, but the weird part is where Kawhi Leonard and James Harden came out, they were shocked. They had no idea that this was going to happen. It was in one of the ESPN articles. They were basically like, yeah, we're as shocked as the fans are right now. We had no idea this was coming. We thought he was a great presence in the locker room. I had imagined there were some players that didn't like him, probably bench warmers who never fucking were going to play anyways.
Yeah,
But I don't know. It just goes to show you how bad and poor this organization is. And I don't think they're ever going to win a championship in our lifetime.
uh, yeah.
I
I
don't think
mean,
so. I don't
that
think
might be the
so.
case. They've
They missed the
constantly
window.
been, yeah, and now
I mean,
they don't own their pick this year. Guess who's got their pick? The Thunder.
oh, I thought we did.
No, we got rid of. I
Well,
think
they're
we
going to
got.
win the next four championships.
Yeah, they're on
They're
a
going to win the
torrid
next four
pace.
championships.
I think the
So,
Thunder have their 2026 pick because I keep seeing stuff that like a 40-year-old James or a 30-something-year-old James Harden is the only thing stopping the Thunder from winning another title and getting AJ DeBonsa, Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson because the Clippers are off to a not good start. So the Clippers could end up near the top of the draft lottery. And I believe that pick goes to the Thunder.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
the NBA is just the
That's the
state of
one
the NBA right
organization I
now,
think
man, is
that's the one organization I think is worse run than the Sixers. And the Sixers have
yeah.
had some bad moments,
Sixers have
but
had
this
some
is
bad
just really
mistakes.
bad.
Yeah.
This is really bad.
I mean,
But I
just
don't
the
know.
Sixers drama history is that's something we could save for a whole nother episode alone, just talking about the Sixers and their history, their mishaps. I'd like to put that out there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
no, I mean,
it's just bad.
regarding
The mistreatment
well,
of veterans, especially a guy who basically gave your organization their glory days as a franchise. Like those were their best teams from 2010 to 2015, 2016. Like
mhm.
I just don't see how. And it was a nice reunion. This was Paul's last season. He's retiring at the end of the year. Now, who knows if he'll even end up with another organization? Um, you
Do you
know,
imagine if the
he
Sixers sign him? I would
there's
lose
just no
my
way.
fucking mind. I would
Yeah, I
lose
would
my
lose my
mind. I
mind
would
too.
lose my fucking shit.
Sixers got
Especially if
enough
that's the only
veteran
move they,
presences.
especially if that's the only move they make, because you know they're not
Yeah.
making moves at the deadline.
No, they will make moves at the deadline
I don't.
because they were
What do you
very
think we
active at
trade?
they were very active at the deadline last year.
I think
Um,
guys we could see gone. I'll go first. I think guys we could see gone is a guy like Watford. I
yeah,
think a
if we're gonna
guy
take them.
like Jabari Walker you
Yeah,
might
but
see
it's also in
traded.
the NBA, like you can give up your picks. People throw
Yeah.
around first round picks so easily to add guys. Plus, like you can take on an expiring contract. Or the Sixers make a big splash and move on from one of Embiid. It's not going to be Paul George because Paul George has actually looked
Um,
pretty good this year.
I
But
don't see a
Embiid has
team
been,
trading. I don't see
in
a
my
team
opinion, since
trading
he's
for
come back
Embiid
from the
though.
injury. Because well, somebody's a playoff team with a need at center would
But
look
I
into
don't
the
think
Embiid
anyone's going to pick up
contract.
that. I don't think anyone's going to pick up the contract.
You're
I don't think
probably
any
right,
team can. Yeah, I don't
and
think
it's
any team
crazy that
can.
we're even talking about this now because I'm just hot because he was bad last night and I think he lost them the game.
Well, it's
Um,
just sad because it's such a fall from grace
God,
from
just
two
can
years
never stay
ago.
healthy, but
Like it's the story of his career,
top
and
three center talent of all time.
yeah, I think it started from the beginning of his career with the intern handling his whatever his what was it his foot or
I mean
something like that or his knee.
that article was incredible to read,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because I mean
but I don't
just
know.
shows the Sixers organizational malpractice is basically what's been committed now for almost 10 years.
Which goes to my
So,
point. I think we'll see a Flyers championship before we see a Sixers championship. Flyers are a wagon right now.
yeah, the
They're a
Flyers are
wagon. They're
yeah, they did
playing
lose. They did
great
lose
hockey.
yesterday, but they're going to get back
Yeah,
on
but
track.
they played good. They played good. I mean, you
Yeah.
lost. They're losing Forrester for 3 months, which that was a bad injury.
Oh, I
Non-contact
didn't see.
on the follow through. They didn't say what it is yet because the NHL doesn't. They don't come out with what the exact injury is until like 3 or 4 weeks later. They just say it's an upper body, and they'll continue to say that until they actually know what it is. But I think they know what it is already. But again, same problems. It's the goalie problem. Erson's good for three every single game he plays. Vladar is still rocky. I don't think he's your starter yet,
No, they
despite
got
the
to get a
games he's
goal.
played.
They got to try and
But
trade for a goalie.
they got to trade. You can't. This is the problem with hockey. My roommate told me this earlier in the year, and I picked up on it, and I understand it. Hockey, you can't bank on your draft picks to be unreal right
Well,
away.
I mean, the way that people talk about Porter Martone, they
Well,
think
that's
Porter
a different
Martone's about
story.
to be a star. So let's
But
hope
either way,
so
like,
because
I mean, they treated Nolan Patrick the fan base treated Nolan Patrick horribly. They
yeah, well,
expected
yeah,
way
those
too much
concussion things and
yeah, they expected way too much from him at the start of his career. And that's just the way the city is. I'm not saying it's every fan base, but a lot of fans, especially casual fans like me and you, we think a draft pick, it's not like the NBA. They're not going to be great right away.
no, they
It's
got
not likely.
they stay in college for an extra year. They
Like
go to the OHL.
Even Bedard didn't have the best year last year. He's having a great
No,
year
his
this
rookie year
year.
wasn't great,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah. Then they had the whole Cutter Gauthier
and
thing,
Cutter, yeah, the whole Cutter Gauthier situation, wouldn't talk
and
to
now Cutter
Briere.
Gauthier has been really good this year too.
Yeah. So you can't expect, especially from a goalie, if you draft a goalie, you can't expect him to be the best of the best. It's just not going to happen. We said it last podcast. Every goalie the Flyers have had that they've let go has turned into a star 5 years later.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's just
unfortunate.
what it is. It's what it is. I'd like
Yeah,
to see a Flyers championship though. I really would.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be
As a
excited.
casual
I would
fan,
like to see any. I mean, we've never
yeah.
seen a championship that wasn't the Eagles, and like the Eagles Super. Like, listen, the Eagles can keep winning Super Bowls, and that would be great if we don't get any other teams. But like, I would like to see another one. I think it would be really cool.
I mean,
So
if we sacrifice every team to become a dynasty, which is not going to happen by the looks of things, obviously, but if we sacrifice every other championship to become a dynasty, am I going to be upset? No,
no, because we're
no,
winning.
because we're winning games in the football column.
Yeah,
But aside from that, I mean, horrible fucking loss tonight.
yeah.
Awful loss.
Doesn't make tonight feel
Awful
any
loss.
better,
Now,
but
now, would you be pissed? Would you be pissed if they put out if they put it's not going to happen, but if they put McKee out there to start the game against Oakland?
it's not gonna happen.
No,
I
I
hadn't
know,
even
but
thought
what
about
would you
that.
what would be your
I would be
thought
like,
process?
what's the point in this? Because is Tanner McKee giving you a better shot to
Yeah,
win a
no, I
playoff
don't
game, win
know.
a
I don't
Super
know.
Bowl?
I don't know.
No. My dad was like, put McKee out there to start the second half. I'm like, dude,
No,
like
not the second half.
McKee's not giving you any better of a shot to win the game. Like this is what you have. This is a guy that just won a Super Bowl for you last year. And nobody was bitching until a couple weeks ago when they started winning these games low scoring because he
Yeah.
wasn't turning the ball over. He was playing well, but you know,
Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows?
listen, I advise everybody to wake up tomorrow. It's a new day. The Sixers don't play till Friday. Watch some TV shows. Watch college basketball. There's a great week of college basketball
Do
on
they go on a
again.
road trip,
Who?
the Sixers?
They play the Pacers at home on Friday. I think there's
Why such a
NBA
long?
Cup. I think there's NBA Cup
Uh,
games they got to fill in. So Sixers get a nice break, which they probably need because they got to get
you know,
some guys healthy.
I thought we were going to win the NBA Cup.
And that was going to be our championship that we got.
Well, yeah, I mean,
We never win the NBA Cup
I
games.
would
We're
have
actually
thrown my
like the
own parade
worst
in my
team.
house.
Yeah. The, I wish they played in the NBA Cup a little bit harder. But yeah, I advise everybody to just take a break. This has been episode 3 of Backyard Brawl.
We'll be
Um,
back next week.
we're gonna be back next week. The Eagles finally play on Sunday. We can finally get one of these episodes out at hopefully a good time. Hopefully the Eagles are on at 1 o'clock because I'm telling you nobody wants to watch the Eagles and the Raiders. But we'll get the episode out next Sunday. Um, yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
All right. Peace.
Peace.